Hello out there, this is Greg, and this is another in my series of videos which I guess you might call a winter walk, or if you want to put it another way, walking in a winter wonderland. We're here at Rattray Marsh in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. It's January 28th, 2013, and I want to show you a little bit of what Rattray Marsh looks like in the winter time. This is a conservation area, as you probably noticed if you read the sign just now. This is just a delightful part of Mississauga. As you know, Mississauga is one of the 10 largest cities in Canada. We're located just west of Toronto. But you know, you come in here and you soon forget that. This kind of looks like you're out in the country somewhere. There's a little cabana shelter here. I'm just inside the entrance off of Water's Edge Drive here at the Rattray Marsh. And I want to show all of you watching some of the posters that they have here that provide some information about the marsh. I'm going to zero in on a couple of these, and I don't know if you'll be able to read the text properly as you watch this video, but it doesn't hurt to at least take a shot at it. What I'm showing you now is one called A Vital Home, and it talks about a lot of the wildlife that actually call this place home. So I'm just going to scan in on that for a second. For those of you who want to know a little more about Rattray Marsh, they call this panel a living discovery center. I'm going to step back a little bit, and this is there's a map of the area of Mississauga that we're in. This particular area, to be more specific, is known as Clarkson. It's which I guess the southwest area of Mississauga. We're almost on the border with Oakville right here, but if you can see the map here, that kind of gives you a pretty good idea of where this place is and what it's all about. I don't know if you can read what's on the left-hand side of this this sign. It talks about things like the significance of Rattray Marsh. It says it's a provincially significant wetland and one of the last of its kind along Lake Ontario between Toronto and Burlington. And then it goes on to talk about the various features of the marsh, you know, so again, some of the wildlife that lives here, and of course it also talks about, you know, being careful about where you are. I know there's a stone over here that you can normally see in the summer, and I believe it says something like, you know, kill nothing but time, shoot nothing but pictures and videos and things like that. I think that kind of sets up what Rattray Marsh is all about. Okay, so I'm going to go for a walk along here. And I'm going to just scan along here and show you a little bit of what this place is all about. Of course, if you live here in Mississauga or surrounding areas of southern Ontario, I'll bet you already know about Rattray Marsh. If you don't, as I said before, this is a little bit of the country in the city. I find within about 2 or 3 minutes of walking in here, I don't even know that I'm in the city. It feels like you're way out in the country somewhere, and we're so blessed here in Mississauga to have this particular marsh. So I'm just going to walk along for a little bit and point out some of the scenery along here and so on. Now, because people have criticized me and said that sometimes I talk a bit too much while I'm doing my videos, that's okay. It's a valid criticism. So I'm going to be quiet for just a couple of minutes, and I'm going to let all you good folks out there just settle back, relax, and enjoy what you're seeing here. Again, this is Rattray Marsh in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. So again, I'm going to be quiet, just kind of scan around a bit at the snow and the trees and the walking trail ahead of me here, and so on. just going to interject for a minute. I love coming down here in the winter time. I'm one of those strange people that actually likes the winter. In fact, I've always preferred the winter to the summer. If you've ever read my blogs, which you can find at gcbrown1956.wordpress.com, I've actually written a couple of blog entries about why I really don't care for the summer, why warm weather doesn't really do it for me. I mean, I know that I'm in the minority. Most people would much prefer the summer, but I'm not one of them. So, as I say, this is my time of year. I love the winter. So, it's nice to come out here and just enjoy the view and scan around a bit. Now, I don't know if you can pick that up through the trees, but that's Green Glade Public School off in the distance, one of the public schools that serves the Clarkson area of Mississauga. I'm going to walk a little bit further, and while I'm doing so, see if I can get a better look at the school. And in fact, we're kind of at what you might call a T intersection here on the trail. And so I don't know if I'm going to get much more of the school. Probably not. I would prefer not to go on the property and actually take a shot or two. I'm very mindful of people's privacy and also public privacy. This is land that is owned by the city of Mississauga, so I know by doing this I'm not going to get into any legal difficulties or things like that, but I am mindful of the privacy of others, so I think I'll just stay away from the school and let them continue. This is also part of the Trans-Canada Trail, so I'm going to show you some marker signs there. And I'm going to wrap up this walk now. This is Greg Brown from Mississauga, Ontario. You can find this video on channel GCB, youtube.com/GCBrown1956. So long from Rattray Marsh.